Hello, everybody. I am back after about a month break. Got a little burned out, so I took a little time off, took a little trip, took a lot of naps, and now I am ready to be back and start a brand new playthrough. I thought it might be interesting to show you guys how I like to start in new farmer mode. Um, as usual, I don't do things the same way that other people might do them. So I think my approach may be a little different and might be interesting. Hope it is. So we are here on Rocky Mountain Reserve. We are going to try and be the Cookie King. Um, we're going to sell cookies and we're going to produce all of the things that we need to produce in order to make and sell cookies. And our goal here is to make more than $5 million in less than 5 years. So we're going to do whatever we can do to make that happen. I'm not going to shy away from some unrealistic mods. We're going to speed some things up so that the game doesn't drag. So if that's not your thing, I just wanted to warn you in advance that this is going to be an unrealistic playthrough in new farmer mode on Rocky Mountain Reserve. We're going to be the Cookie King, and here we go. So we start on this map. Well, let's look at the map first. Our little bit of heaven is right up here. We own this whole little island right up here in the corner. I think that's pretty cool. And we have 3 decent sized fields to work with, which is good because we're going to need quite a few ingredients actually to make cookies. At the very least, in order to make sugar cookies, I believe we're going to need flour, which is going to be made out of wheat. We're going to need sugar beets. We're going to need milk. So that means we got to have cows. We're not going to need milk, but we're going to need butter. So in order to make butter, we got to have milk, and that means cows. Also, we're going to need chickens because we need eggs. So we're going to put all of that together first. So most of this episode is probably going to be just setting up the farm. I would at this point like to give a shout out to Bower Brown. This is a great map. I love this map. It's really pretty. It's a nice place to be, which is kind of my criteria for a map. If it's not a nice place to be, I don't want to be there. And this is. I really like being on this map. Bower Brown, not only is he a great map maker, but he also provides some of the best tutorials if you want to learn how to use Giants Editor to make maps. Bower Brown breaks it all down into really simplified terms. He's got a series where he starts from nothing and creates a map. So I would suggest that if you want to learn how to use Giants Editor, head over to bowerbrown.com, check out his YouTube channel. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to back out of the map and take a look at what we got here. We have some nice storage buildings. We have a big silage clamp. We have a big silo. We have a big hayloft. And we have some pretty decent equipment. So we could start right now farming. But let's take a look at this equipment. This, let's look in here actually, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. We have a small tractor, 175 horsepower. That's a decent amount of horsepower. So that tractor's pretty good. We have a medium tractor, 280 horsepower. Nice tractor, although I'm not a real big fan of John Deere. We also have a large tractor, but our large tractor is only 305 horsepower, which is kind of at the bottom end of large tractors. So, and I'm not really sure we need 3 tractors. I know we need 2, but I don't know that we need 3. So I think probably these two tractors are going to go, and we're going to get one other large tractor, and then we'll have this to do tasks around the farmyard, like emptying slurry and milk and just carting things around. Harvester. It's a decent harvester. It only holds 10,000 liters. And like I said, I want to use some unrealistic mods here. So we can get a good price for that, and we can buy something a little more expensive that's going to suit our purposes. The pickup, we don't need that. So we're going to sell that. And most of the rest of this equipment, we're also going to sell. Because look at this. Cultivator, that's, I guess, a decent sized cultivator. It's 8.4 meters. But if we have a direct drill, we don't really need a cultivator. So we're going to sell that, and look at the price we get for it. We get 70 grand for it. So really good. Our seeder here, it's 6 meters. That's at the very bottom of what I want to deal with on the size fields that we have. So I think we're probably going to sell that. Planter, mower, forage wagon, we're probably going to get one seeder and or planter that does everything. Although, yeah, I guess we do need both because we need to plant sugar beets and wheat. So we'll get a multi-fruit planter, seeder, whatever looks good. Hopefully there'll be something in the sale here in a minute. Forage wagon, that's pretty tiny. You guys know I like to use the Misty Cat forage wagon to pick up things quickly, so we're going to do that. The rest of this stuff, we're just going to sell it. We're probably going to keep one of these weights to put on the front of the small tractor. So let's go ahead and back out of this. We'll sell our equipment here in a minute, but I want to show you where the real money can come from. This is indeed a beautiful shed. And it holds a bunch of stuff. But do we need it? Is it something that we absolutely have to have? If you want to keep it, then you might want to keep it on your farm. Personally, I think it's more storage than we need because I think we have more equipment than we need right now. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I think you're going to be surprised at what some of the stuff that you get for free actually costs. So we're going to come over here to this shed. We're going to click on it. We can get $312,500 for it. So we're definitely going to sell that. And we have a big bare spot to put other things. Now, over here, same thing. We have 3 bays here and a garage, and I don't think we really need it. And if we click on it, we get $55,000 for it. So we're going to sell that too. We can put other things there. Now, down the road here, silage. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I do not like to use a silage clamp like this. I would much rather use a production that ferments silage in a silo setting. It's a lot of alliteration there. So we're going to sell this, and this will flabbergast you. $120,000. Sell it. What we're going to use to make silage costs less than that. So that's going to more than pay for itself. That unit will also make hay. So we're going to sell that. And this silo over here is not multi-fruit. And it doesn't hold as much as we need it to hold. So we're going to sell this for $125,000. Okay. So now we have kind of a pretty bare pallet here. But we have $722,500. So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to sell everything except for that tractor and one weight. And then we're going to start replacing things. All right, so we have a tractor and we have a weight. And more importantly, we have 1.6 $1.84 million with which to rebuild the farm of our dreams. So, if we had started, for instance, in farm manager mode, we would have started with $1.5 million, no land, and no equipment. So sometimes instead of starting in farm manager mode, it's better to start in new farmer mode, sell some things, and you'll be in a much, much better position because now we still have all the land. And we have a sleep trigger. We're in a really nice place. So we're going to get to work and we're going to set up a farm. So the first thing I think I want to do is do a little landscaping. All right, I bought a chainsaw because we're going to have to prepare this piece of land right here to put in our cow barn, which I think is going to be the first thing we do. And yes, I'm lumberjacking these trees away. I know I could make a little money off of them, but I'm not terribly concerned about that at the moment. There are some more trees down there that I think we may harvest for money at some point. But for right now, I'm really more concerned about getting the farm put together. Let's see. I think there may be a couple more of these that we might want to do away with. These little guys right here are a pain. You can't lumberjack them away. Aha. Wow. Those are tough little suckers to deal with, aren't they? Let's try that again. Wow. I don't like those trees. All right, now I think we've got enough clear space to put in the cow barn that we want to put in. Now, if you look over here, you'll see some foliage. This foliage will not go away unless you plant grass over it. So we're going to do that first. I'm going to go into plants. And on some maps, it won't even do it when you plant grass over it. But on this one, I believe it does. Yeah, you see it goes away. And then when we put our building on top, the building will cover that. And we won't have weird vines growing in the middle of our cow barn. Let me make sure we're all good to go there. Yep, we are. All right, I'm going to smooth it out a little bit. Ground on this farm is a little bit lumpy. So before we do some things, we're going to do some smoothing. Okay, I think that'll work. Now let's put in our cow barn. We're going to use the French cow barn. There it is. 85 cows, 85,000. That's kind of the rule of thumb on cows. Leave more room on that side. 85, 8. Ooh. We're going to smooth a little more. It's real high over here. And that's why it wants to charge me a lot more money to move it over there. Because it's going to have to do more landscaping. And the more landscaping it does, the more chance you run into of something going wrong. So the best practice is just to do as much landscaping as you can so that the game will do as little as it needs to. Yeah, see, that's much better. Gotta leave room over there so we can get through and get our slurry. Looks like we have enough room there. Looks good, looks good. Back it up just a little bit. There we go. We have cows. All right, next thing we're going to need is eggs. So we're going to put in some chickens, and this looks like a great place to put in this chicken coop right here. It's $10,000, but it's 500 chickens. Now, it takes a lot of feed, but it also produces a lot of eggs. So until we get our cookie empire really moving along, we may need to sell some eggs. So this will produce a whole lot of them. There we go. There's our chicken pen. Looks good right there by the lake. So now we're also going to need silage. We're going to need silage, and we're going to need total mixed ration for our cows. So we're going to go with, I have tried many other productions to do what I need to do, and none of them does it as well as this one that I always use. So pardon me while I use it one more time. It is the Field Products Factory. It just works. It just flat works. And so if something works, I see no reason to change it. Until somebody produces something better, we're going to go with this. All right, I'm going to get it out here. I don't want to get it too close to those trees. All right, I should be able to get through that. Done. We're also going to need a silo. So we're going to go with an Omatana silo, I believe. This is an Omatana silo. And we're going to go with it in green because I like it in green. And we'll just put it right here on the road. Easy to get to. And I also want to place a production that does a lot of different things. If I can find it. Oh, well, I'm in silos instead of production. That explains it. It's in the multi-crop greenhouses pack, but it makes lime, it makes manure, it makes solid fertilizer, herbicide, and seeds from a lot of different materials. So I like this little mod. It's only $5,000, so it's very economical. It doesn't take up much room. We can tuck it right back here in a corner. right there. So we have milk, we have eggs, we have wheat. For flour, what else we got over there? It's like canola, no use to us, but we'll store it, and we have an empty field here. So the last thing I want to put in while we still have a great stinking wad of cash is our cookie factory. This mod comes in 3 different varieties. I saw it back here a little while ago, I believe. Yeah, there it is. We have 3 different versions. We have the normal cookie factory, which you put all the ingredients in and it will make cookies. You know, you can put in eggs, you have to put in butter, you have to put in cheese, you have to put in sugar, you have to put in flour. This one, well, let's go to this one. This one is one step up from that. You can put raw materials into it, like wheat or sugar beets or milk, and it will make the next set of ingredients that it will need. It will make the butter out of the milk. It will make the flour out of the wheat. It'll make the sugar out of the sugar beets. So this has got a built-in, I guess, milling production and dairy production, for lack of a better word. And then this one is the same as the one with the milling production, but it's high output. I think we're going to go with this one because it kind of does a bunch of different things for us, but it's not quite as cheaty as the other one. I like to be cheaty on the ingredient side, where I have, you know, it makes my work easier. I don't want my factory to go 10 times as fast. That would be easy to do just by editing an XML file. So I'd rather just have a high capacity harvester so I don't have to ever empty it. All right, so I'm going to place this right here by the lake. It looks beautiful. Ready to make cookies when we have the ingredients to feed it. Okay, that looks a lot better. Now we're going to place some buildings to store our equipment. But we're not going to buy expensive buildings. There's no reason, in my mind, to buy expensive buildings. There's just no good reason to do it. So let me get up above this, make sure we've got enough room to get in and out of it. Because this is where all of our big stuff is going to go. I think that gives us enough room. Place that there. And we're probably going to need to do some more smoothing around that as well. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah. For some reason, this particular shed always sinks itself into the ground no matter how much you smooth and or level the ground around it, or the ground underneath it. Well, I think I may have to take some of these trees right here out in order to use it effectively. For now, we'll just back in and out. Oh, but can we get to our fields? That is my question. Well, if we have to store the header out here somewhere, we can do that. Not a problem. Okay. Next, I want to put in a shed for our smaller equipment. And I'm going to use a version of the Easy Shed that has lights in it. I like that. It gives the whole yard a little bit of light. And we're going to put it right here. Get it over here a little bit. All right, that should give us enough room to, yeah, get out in front of it and back things into it. Very nice. All right, so we got a nice little farm going here. We have sheds, we have cows, or a cow barn, we have a chicken coop, we have a silo, we have silage fermentation. So we have everything except equipment. And before we buy equipment, we still have $1.3 million. But we do need some equipment. So we're going to buy some of that next. We have some a crop over there that needs harvesting. So we need to buy a harvester. Let's look in the sale first and see if there's anything there that we can use. Harvester, there's not, because I really only want one kind of harvester. So we're going to go with the Colossus. I'm going to go with the Colossus Unrealistic. Leave it in the color that it comes in. There's really nothing else we need to do to it, so we don't need to spend any more money on it. That's going to take us down to right at $1 million. And we also need a header for it. So we're going to go with the Colossus header. It's expensive, but it matches the harvester. I'm going to pull this in here for now, because we need a few more things before we start to farming. We also need a tractor, a large tractor. And there's a new mod out that I really, really want to try. And, you know, as with all new things, I could get sick of this very quickly. But I'm going to go with it because it looks really cool. It is a 700 horsepower tractor, tracked vehicle. It's really small. You can put on the front of it hydraulics. So now I have a 3-point on the front and the back with PTO, just like any other tractor. We're going to turn it as black as we possibly can. And we're going to buy it for $210,000, which for 700 horsepower is pretty crazy. Actually, I'm going to leave that out for a second because the next thing I'm going to buy is a forage wagon. And of course, we're going to buy Mr. Cat's mod, Jet Black, Jet Black, Jet Black. Ooh, this little tractor is fun. Wow, look at the turn on that thing. All right, so we have a big tractor, we have a small tractor, we have a forage wagon that can double as a trailer. We need a seeder, and we need a fertilizer spreader. I may just go ahead and go with the tried and true, one of my favorite mods of all time, and there's a couple of different versions of it, but it's the Porsche Pronto 9DC Multifruit. It's a great price, plants everything we need it to plant. This one also plants, I think, potatoes and sugar beets, but I mean, sugar cane. We're not going to, and poplar, but we're not going to plant any of that. So I think we're just going to go with this at the beginning. We're going to get it in a higher capacity, and that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. We are also going to buy a fertilizer spreader. And the best one for us, I'm not even going to hem and haw, is going to be this one. We're going to go ahead and put it in black. None. XL capacity. And buy it for $29.5. All right, so the last thing on our list is a mower. And I think we're going to go with the tried and true again. We're going to go with a swather. Well, where are my mowers? There we are. Now, and my dilemma is always, do I go with this one that is very, very bad on any sort of unlevel ground, or do I spend more money? So I can spend, when I think it's like $75,000 on this, I can spend $125,000 on this. So I think we're going to go ahead and spend the little bit of extra money right here up front. Instead of getting the giant header, we're just going to get the regular header. It's much cheaper. All right. And I believe that we now have everything we need except for cows and chickens to start making cookies. We can't make all of the kinds of cookies, because to do that, we're going to need strawberries and grapes and oats as well. So, you know, down in the future at some point, we'll get some greenhouses to make grapes and strawberries. We'll get another field to grow some oats. But for right now, we're ready. We can start growing all of the things that we need to make sugar cookies. So, in the next episode, we're going to get some chickens and some cows. We are also going to mow and harvest and start our farm working. So, if you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. If you did not like this video, well, post a comment and tell me why. Either way, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.